I hope you stay tuned for a video of thrift flipping, and I've got a surprise for you at the end. I'm so excited to show you what I did and how it turned out. Before I get started on my thrift flips, I wanted to share with you that I am having a live vintage Christmas sale on Facebook on November 4th at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I'll have the link down below if you're interested, and I hope I will see you there. So since it's a thrift flip video, I thought I would bring you an old video from the past, and it is this wonderful piece, or two pieces I found that do not match. And because they didn't match, I thought, you know what, I want to do something that I haven't done before, and it turned out super cute. So I went out and spray painted both sides with some Rust-Oleum white chalk paint, linen white chalk paint, and gave them 2 good coats. And kind of, you know, make sure that you don't have any runs in it, and be patient with it, which I'm not. So here I'm taking some Mod Podge, and be careful not to drip it everywhere like I did. And I'm taking the tissue paper that I printed out on my laser jet, and it turned out really cute. It's just a simple technique that you print it out, and it's see-through, so all you see is the design once you're done with the Mod Podge. So here I'm just straightening out all the edges, making sure that it's smooth on the rounded edge, and then I gave it a good coat over the top. Now I have to do the bowl. So I thought 3 would be cute, 3 little designs that matched, and I just Mod Podged them the same way and used this little technique I've learned from the Schwowin's Nest. She's so good. And you just put it on your brush and then aim where you want to put it, and it sits down really easily once you've got that Mod Podge down. So then I'm giving it a good coat over the top of it so that it's nice and smooth. And I did it for the other 2 sides as well. You just want to make sure that the tissue paper is smooth to whatever object that you're adhering it to, and it turns out really super nice. And don't overdo it with the Mod Podge. And then I spray painted it with this clear afterwards to make sure that nothing was going to come off. And here it is. I love it. This is one of my favorites that I've done, and I keep it out most of the year until the cozy holidays come. I take it out, but it matches my black and white furniture that I have, and I just love it. I was so surprised how beautiful it turned out. I just love being able to take something that might be ending up in the landfill and turning it into something that you love and enjoy in your home. You should give it a try. It's so much fun. Let me know in the comments what you think of this one, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I found this set on Amazon. It's a bakery smells of essential oils that you can use for even like reusing candles to make it smell better, or even as oil in a wax warmer, or make your own wax melts. And I thought it would be really good to try as a candle, and so I smelled them, and they smell so yummy. And they have gingerbread, coffee cake, Snickerdoodle cupcake, sugar cookie, and pumpkin pie. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to use today, but I am attempting to put it in this bowl that I bought at the thrift store, and it's wooden, and I thought it was kind of neat looking and would be perfect for a nice candle to be put in it. And then I'm going to use probably 2 of these candles from the Dollar Tree to melt down and then add the scent to them. So stay tuned. So now I'm just using these wicks that I purchased on Amazon, and I'll have that link down below in my description. When I researched it, it says that you should have 1 wick for every inch of candle, and this is a 5-inch round bowl, so I need 3 of them. And so I'm just hot gluing them down to the bottom, and you want them to be kind of symmetrical in space, and just glue them apart from each other. If you're enjoying this video, please like and share it, as well as subscribe. That would mean the world to me. I appreciate you. So now I'm just taking a few sticks here so that I can clamp them up to stay in place, because you want them to go straight up. And I am just going crisscross so that I can clamp them easily to each of the wicks. And I'm using Dollar Tree clips, which are amazing. You need to get some if you don't have any. They are good for everything. Okay, so you want to get your water boiling, and be careful, don't burn yourself, but you want to put one, how many you want in there, and just keep them in there separated a little bit, and then let it boil for about 20 minutes. And you can watch it and see how it's going to melt gradually, and as it melts you can kind of maybe try to push the wax down a little bit more so it'll melt completely through. So just keep an eye on it. Here you can kind of see it's doing its job. It's come down quite a bit and it's melted at the bottom. So hopefully it'll just work on its own and I don't have to push it down any, so that it will just be nice and even. Okay, they look like they're done, and there's still 2 minutes left on the timer. So roughly 20 minutes, but like I said, keep an eye on them. So this one I can just probably mix it around and it'll melt fast. So we're going to turn this off, and then be careful and use something that you won't burn yourself getting it out. So now you want to be careful and not burn yourself, and hold it very carefully and pour it into the bowl. And if you saw that, you want to make sure you take the wicks out before you start pouring it out of the bottle. And this did take actually both of these bottles, and it worked out perfect for this. So the scent I chose was Coffee Cake, and it smells so good. I just loved it, so I have to have it. So I did put quite a bit in this, and I thought maybe I was overbearing it, but it turned out really good. It smells so good, and I think I did close to a half of this bottle for this, so it would make enough scent to come out. So be prepared for using quite a bit. I was told on the internet that you want to use at least 10% for every ounce that you're using. So this was approximately 12 ounces of wax. So I would use 1.2 ounces of oil to make it smell pretty. So while I'm mixing it here, maybe if you have a easier way of doing this, let me know, but I thought this turned out okay. Just a little trick. If you want to get wax out of something really easily, just pop it in the freezer and leave it overnight or a couple hours, and it will just pop right out. It just makes it so much easier to clean. It's all set up now, and I put it in the freezer to help it along a little quicker, and they said that it does that does work, and they recommended it. You can also just let it sit overnight for a while and have it sit up that way first. And I'm talking with my hands because I was talking, but I didn't like what I said. So I'm just using these Dollar Tree clippies that are pretty awesome, and just removing all of that, and look how pretty it looks. And the only thing I should have done is maybe put the wicks a little more symmetrical, but it's just for me, and so I'm happy with it. And you just want to cut down to where you feel that it's going to need to be so that it can burn. And there it is. It looks so pretty. I love it. And you can use any container. You can put it in a cup, or different types of bowls, heart-shaped containers, and give them away as gifts. So look to the thrift store first before you go out and buy a gift, because I think when you recycle something and you do your own spin on it, it makes it a nicer gift for the person that's receiving it, and it saves the environment. I love how it turned out. It is so pretty and just nice and clean, and I don't want to light it. But I want to show you how cozy and nice it feels. It just warms up the room, and it smells so yummy. I didn't overbear it with the smell, and it's just perfect. So I want you to try doing this and finding a container at the thrift store that you can do a candle for a gift for someone for Christmas. I hope you enjoy. So remember that box that I got at the thrift store? I love the whole idea of this box, and it was in some pretty rough shape, but I knew I could make it look so much better. So I hope you like how it turned out. So first I'm just taking the hardware off, which was actually only the bigger handle. The other two handles are on the drawer, and I couldn't get the inside of the drawer out to take them off. So I just took this off. So once I cleaned it and had everything off, I just took my sander and really gave a good deep sanding on that top, because that was the worst part of the whole box. And I just sanded it down to where I knew it was going to be smooth and that the stain would look really good on it. So here I did use my sander on the sides and that. I probably shouldn't have done that. It's probably better to do all that by hand because of the grooves, but it did still turn out pretty good. So here I'm just wiping it all down from the sand. You don't want any of that. And I'm using my antiquing wax and just giving it a good amount of it and spreading it all through to the darkness that I want. And when you rub it on, just rub it on as much as you want, and then go through and wipe it down to get all of the excess off. So I just went through the whole piece and did all the way around it, and opened it up, and also did the inside around the edges where I actually sanded too. And then also, any groove in that, you want to make sure you get everywhere that you sanded, and as dark as you want it. And here I did the front of the drawer. I didn't do the bottom because it's inside and it really didn't need anything, and you won't see it. So I just did the front of the drawer and the inside of the drawer around the trim. So I ended up finding these roses online, and I printed them on or cut it out on my silhouette. And I wanted to use IOD transfers. I found the perfect one, but it was for dresser size and it was too big, and they didn't have smaller ones. So I'm so sad I couldn't bring that to you, but this worked out so beautiful. And I wanted it to drape down over the front of it. So I'm just getting into the grooves to make sure that it, gets in there. So when I do use the paint, it's gonna go in really well. So here I'm using my white wax now, and just using a stencil brush, just tapping on it. I then spread it around on those leaves, the top leaves, and I shouldn't have because it bled through, and I'll show you later. But the rest of it, you just want to tap on it, and then just kind of tap with a dry rag to get the excess of that wax off. Don't smear it, otherwise it will bleed through the stencil. So I just continued down and did all of that with the stencil and the wax, just tapping it all and just making sure as I go I wipe it down a little bit at a time, and then move on to the next section. And in the grooves here, I kind of went around through it, but I didn't want to go clear inside, so I just kind of dabbed on the edges of the wood so that it was showing through on that part and not inside of where it closes. So again, here I'm just dabbing it so that I'm getting the excess of the wax off, and kind of rubbing a little bit within each section, but not enough to smear it. And look how pretty that is. I just love this. It turned out so pretty. Just rubbing off the excess that might have got in there. But then where it did smear, I am here correcting it with a wet cloth and trying to get as much of the white wax off in those areas. And then I touched up with some white wax in a brush. And then here now I see where it rubbed the wax off, the dark wax off. And so I'm just touching that up too. And I ended up kind of touching up the whole top with some darker coloring. And now where it's bled between the two, I'm using a brush with the dark wax as well to give it more definition between it, so you can see, and it's kind of correcting what I did. So once it was all dry, and I made sure it took a while to dry, and I'm just using polyacrylic on it, and you want to do big strokes, long strokes, because you don't want it to show your streaks of the brush in it. So you want to just do really big strokes on it. And I did a portion at a time and then went over it again with more for a full stroke. And I did that, probably the top I did maybe, I don't know, 3 coats. And then around the sides I did 2. I did 3 just because I didn't want that top to show those streaks. And then here I've left it open while I did this because you don't want it to stick together and close and not be able to get it open again. So you want it to dry with the lid open. And then here I'm just doing the drawer. So for the hardware, I bought this rub-on gold paint, I guess. It's like Rub and Buff, but I can't remember the name. I'll have that in the description down below. But you want to use a tiny bit at a time because a little goes a long way, and you can't get it back off once it's on. It won't come off very easily. So you just want to use a little bit at a time. And look how pretty that turned out. It really shined everything up and made it look brand new almost. It's just so pretty. And of course I did both of the little handles. So now I'm just attaching the handle back on. I had to fix the little envelope there with some hot glue. Then the final touch was vacuuming it out and wiping it down with a rag inside to make it nice and clean. So here it is. I am so proud of this piece. It just turned out so beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite pieces that I've done. It just looks so beautiful. I just don't know what else to say. I just love how the white wax is over the antiquing wax, and it just pops out and subtly, and not, you know, too overbearing. It just is so lovely. Tell me down below what you think of it. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will maybe think about these boxes next time that you see one and purchase it and try to do it yourself. It's just so much fun to change something that once was beat up and somebody just threw it away and turned it into something so beautiful. And here is the inside. It's just so pretty inside with the silverware. It just pops out, the color. Everything just turned out so well. I'm just so proud of it. And again, I hope that you enjoy this as well. And inside the drawer here, there's, you know, space for other types of silverware. But tell me what you think that right side part is. It has cuts on the inside of it, and so I'm not sure what it is. So let me know. So there's my video. I hope you enjoyed every bit of it, and I hope that you will come back next week for my Thrift with Me video. I have some really good footage for you. If you're new here, make sure that you like my video, comment below what you think, and subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you who come back and watch my videos. That means the world to me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.